नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है डॉक्टर गौरव। मैं आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूँ अपने YouTube चैनल दयाल एंड सन्स क्लास में। जैसे कि आप जानते हैं, हमने इस चैनल के ऊपर CSIR नेट की PYQ सीरीज स्टार्ट करी है। चैप्टर वाइज सीरीज है जिसमें हम ऑर्गेनोमेटालिक केमिस्ट्री से प्रॉब्लम्स डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। इस श्रेणी में ये दूसरी वीडियो है। इस दूसरी वीडियो में भी हम क्लस्टर्स के बारे में ही पढ़ेंगे, बट इस वीडियो में हम PYQ क्वेश्चंस लेने वाले हैं। उन क्वेश्चंस में हम क्लस्टर्स के नंबर ऑफ मेटल मेटल बॉन्ड्स, टोटल नंबर ऑफ मेटल मेटल बॉन्ड्स, नंबर ऑफ बॉन्ड्स पर एटम इन द प्रेजेंट इन द क्लस्टर्स, उसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे। अब सबसे पहली बात आती है टोटल नंबर ऑफ मेटल मेटल बॉन्ड्स कैसे निकालें। टोटल नंबर ऑफ metal metal bonds. How can we calculate the total number of metal metal bonds? Before proceeding to problems, let us see how we calculate this total number of metal metal bond. Now, in order to calculate this total number of metal metal bonds, you again need to know the total electron count of that particular cluster. You can calculate the total number of metal metal bonds only when you know the total electron count of the particular cluster, of which we need to find the number of metal metal bonds. Now, once we know the TEC, then we apply the following formula for the total number of metal metal bonds. Is equal to 18 into n minus TEC divided by 2. Formula is 18 into n minus TEC divided by 2. Now here listen carefully. Now here n, where n is number of metals present in cluster forming the vertex. Only those number of metal metal bonds will be counted, those which are forming the vertex. Alright. Now another thing is, why 18 into n? Why this 18? Why this 18? Now we have taken this 18 because of 18 electron. This 18 comes from 18 electron rule. This 18 comes from the 18 electron rule. What does this 18 electron rule means? Or what does this 18 electron rule tells us? 18 electron rule tells us that any complex or a compound which obeys the 18 electron rule will always be the most stable. So, for a compound to be most stable, it should obey the 18 electron rule. Right? Now, when we multiply by 18 into n, that means that the complex must contain this much of electron to become stable. But TEC might be less than this. So what happens, in order to become stable, what happens in the clusters? The metal metal bond is formed. In order to overcome that deficiency of electron from 18 into n minus TEC, that much, in order to fulfill that 18 electron rule stability principle, the metal metal bond formation takes place in the cluster. Alright, I hope this much is clear. Let me rub this and then we proceed to our problems. By the way, link to the previous video you can find somewhere here or in the description area below of this video. Alright, let's take the first question. The first question is from December 2011. In this, there were two complexes were given. One is Cp Fe, CO, NO, whole 2 and Cp, MO, CO whole 3, 2. These are the two complexes that were given, and you are required to find out the number of metal-metal bonds in these two particular compounds. Now let us see how we can calculate. Let us first calculate for this the TEC for this complex. Let us calculate the TEC for this complex. Now here iron contributes 8 electron, CO contributes 2 electron, Cp here stands for cyclopentadienyl anion. Cyclopentadienyl anion. Cp stands for cyclopentadienyl anion, and Cp contributes 5 electrons by neutral method. Here we are using TC method, TC calculation method we are doing by neutral method. So according to neutral method, Cp will contribute 5 electron. So plus 5. Now NO. Now thing is, now NO, according to neutral method, NO can either contribute 1 or 3 electron. NO can either contribute 1 or 3 electron. This will take place when NO is present as bent, and NO will contribute 3 electron if NO is present in the linear state. If NO is bonded in a bent form, then it will contribute 1 electron, and if NO is bonded to the metal center in a linear fashion, then it will contribute 3 electron. In this particular case, and also remember that NO will always exist as linear in octahedral complexes. In octahedral complexes, NO is always in linear form. Now here, that is the coordination number 6. If it is coordinating the metal in the coordination number, and the metal has a coordination number 6, then it will always be in the linear fashion. This is due to the crowding of the ligands, because in this state, in case of octahedral complex, bent stage will, if a nitrogen bonds in the bent fashion, then it will create steric repulsion between the ligands and make the complex unstable. So in order to stabilize the complex, it acquires the linear state. It binds the metal in the linear fashion. Alright. Now, so in this case also, if you see, here NO we have the bulky groups attached to the iron center, so NO cannot exist in a bent form here. So NO will be must have been bonded to iron in this particular complex in a linear fashion. So when it is forming in the linear fashion, that means it will contribute 3 electrons, plus 3. Now there are 2 sets of this, therefore what we will do, we will multiply all by 2. I hope I am clear. Now this will come out to be 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 3, 18. 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 5 plus 3, 18, 18 into 2, 36. So TEC for this particular complex comes out to be 36. Now let us see the number of metal-metal bonds. Total number of metal-metal bonds will be equal to how much? Will be equal to 18 into N. N is iron. Here we have 2 iron metals, so N will be 2. 18 into 2 minus TEC. TEC is 36 divided by 2. This will come out to be 0. So in this particular case, there will be no metal-metal bond between the 2 iron atoms. So what must be happening? That CO must be binding the atom, binding the 2 iron centers in a bridge fashion. That is, CO must be the bridging ligand in this case. CO must be acting as the bridging ligand. The structure would be something like this: Fe, this structure must be something like this: Fe with bridging COs, and this would be the structure for this particular complex. So you can see that there is no metal-metal bond is forming. Okay, now let's look at the second one. Now let's check for the second complex, that is this one. So in this case, 0. In this case, we have 0 metal-metal bond. We have 0 metal-metal bond. For this, we have 0 metal-metal bonds. Now let's check for the second complex. Second complex is CpMO. TEC is equal to Cp 5 electrons, molybdenum. Molybdenum contributes 6 electrons. Its configuration is 3d5 4s2. Sorry, 7. It will contribute 7 electron. MO is 7. 3d5 4s2. Sorry, not 3d5 4s1, 6. Configuration of MO is 3d5 4s1. So it will contribute 6 electron. Let me check once. Yeah, the configuration of MO is 3d5 4s1. Total of 6 electrons. So 6 electron which will contribute. So in the valence orbital of MO we have 6 electrons, therefore it will contribute 6 electrons. Now there is 3 COs. One CO contributes 2, then 3 will contribute 2 into 3, and there are 2 sets of this. The whole we multiplied it by 2. What we get? 6 and 5, 11. 11 plus 6, 17. 17 into 2, that is equal to 34. Now the number of metal-metal bonds, total number of metal-metal bonds will be equal to how much? Will be equal to TC 18. 18 number of centers. There are 2 MOs. MO and whole is of 2 means there are 2 MO centers. 2 MO center means 18 into 2 minus TC is 34 divided by 2. What do we get? We get 36 minus 34 upon 2, that is 1 electron. Sorry, that is 1 bond. Therefore, in this case we have 1 metal-metal bond. So for iron complex there will be 0 metal-metal bonds, and in case of molybdenum complex we will have 1 metal-metal bond. I hope this is clear. Alright, let's move to next question. Next question is from June 2013. Okay friends, now let's move to question number 2, which is from June 2013. In this question, we are required to find out the total number of metal-metal bond in the complex W2OPH whole 6. Now, well, the first thing we need to do, we need to find out TEC. Let's find out TEC for this particular complex. Now, here tungsten has electronic configuration, contributes 6 electrons. It lies in the molybdenum family below molybdenum, and molybdenum contributes 6 electrons, and therefore tungsten will also contribute 6 electrons, and there are 2 tungsten, that means 6 into 2 plus. Now OPH. Now OPH, when present in a terminal position, contributes 1 electron. When present in a terminal, it contributes 1 electron. Now, why we are taking multi? See, by looking at the complex, we are given this structure. By looking at this, we cannot say whether OPH is a terminal or a bridging line. It can exist, it can work as a bridging as well as terminal. In case of if OPH is present as terminal ligand, then OPH will contribute 1 electron, but if OPH is present as a bridging ligand, it will contribute 3 electrons. Now, let us first solve by assuming OPH to be the terminal ligand, all 6 OPH to be the terminal ligand. Now, if all OPH are terminal ligand, each OPH contributes 1 electron, and there are total of 6, therefore 1 into 6. Total becomes 18. The total becomes 18. Now, the number of metal-metal bonds will be equal to 18 into n minus TEC by 2. We know that total number of metal-metal bonds is given by the formula 18 into n minus TEC upon 2 is equal to. Now, there are 2 tungsten atoms, therefore n will become 2. TEC has been calculated as 18 divided by 2, it will come out to be 18 by 2, that is equal to 9. That is 9 metal-metal bonds, which is not possible in any case. There is no compound in which metal-metal bond in which a metal forms 9 metal-metal bonds. So this cannot be the case because it is coming out to be 9, and 9 number of metal-metal bonds are not possible at all. So that means some or all of the OPH must be acting as a bridging ligand in this particular complex. Now let's see. Now let us calculate by assuming that 2 of the OPH. Now let us calculate TEC by assuming that 2 of these OPH is working as a bridging ligand. Now what will TEC will be like? Is equal to 2 tungsten, that will remain 6 into 2 plus. Now 4 are terminal, 2 are bridging. For 4 terminal, 1 electron for 1 terminal, 4 terminal means 1 into 4. There are 2 bridging, and 1 bridging contributes 3 electron, therefore 2 will contribute 3 into 2, and this will come out to be 12, 16, 12, 6, 18, 18 and 4, 32. No, sorry, 22. This will come out to be 22. Now again, if you put 22 here, if we put TEC equal to 22, we get 7, and again it is not possible. We get 7 bonds, which is again impossible. So now what we do? We assume 4 OPH to be the bridging and 2 terminal. Now when 4 are present as a terminal, 2 terminal ligands will contribute 1 into 2. 4 OPH we are assuming to be bridging. 1 bridging contributes 3, then 4 will contribute into 4. The total becomes 12 plus 12, 24, 24 plus 2, 26. Let me check once. 12, 12, 14, 24, 24 to 26. It comes out to be 26. Now let us check how many number metal bonds. 18 minus 2, now TEC is 26. 36 minus 26. 18 into 2 is 36. 36 minus 26 is 10. Number of metal bonds come out to be 5. This is also not possible. Tungsten cannot form. Tungsten complex do not form 5 metal bonds. Actually, maximum bond that can form is that can be present in any compound between two metal is 4, as in case of rhenium 2 Re2Cl8 2 negative. I hope I am clear. The number of metal bond is coming 5 when we are taking 4 OPH to be bridging and 2 to be the terminal. Now if all the 6 OPH are present as bridging, then what will the situation will become now? For tungsten 6 into 2, all the 6 ligands are present as bridging. Therefore, one bridging contributes 3, so 6 will contribute 3 into 6, that is 18. This will come out to be 30. Now the total electron count is 30. So now in place of TC I write 30. It will come out to be 6 by 2, that is 3, and this is the correct answer. So the correct number of metal bond in W2OPH6 complex would be 3. So there will be 3 metal bonds present between the two tungsten in this particular complex, and with all the 6 OPH as bridging ligand. So this is the correct answer. Alright, now let's move to third question. Third question is again from June 2013. Third question says, calculate the number of metal bonds, calculate the total number of metal bonds and number of metal bonds per atom in the complex IR4 CO12. In this question, we need to find total number of metal bonds and metal bonds per metal atom. In this question, we are required to find out two things. First is the total number of metal bonds, and second one is the number of metal bonds per atom. Now let us first calculate the total number of metal bonds. For this, what we need to calculate? TEC. TEC for this complex, it is IR, it lies under cobalt. It contributes total of 9 electrons. It contributes 9 electrons and there are 4 rhenium, so 9 into 4, plus there are 12 COs. 1 CO contributes 2 into 12. Now here I must take one point. The CO can be present as a bridging as well as terminal, but in case of CO, in both the cases, the number of electron contributed is towards the skeleton of the, or towards the structure of the complex is 2. Alright. Now this total becomes 9, 4, 36 plus 24, that is equal to 60. It comes out to be 60. 36 plus 24, 60. The total electron count comes out to be 60. Now the total number of metal bonds total number of metal bonds is 18 into n minus TEC divided by 2. Here n is 4. We have 4 IR atoms, so n is 4. So we will write 18 into 4 minus TEC. TEC has been come out to be 60 divided by 2. 18 4 is 72 minus 60 upon 2, that is 12 upon 2, that is equal to 6. So here there are 6 metal bonds in this particular complex. So the total number of metal bond in this particular complex is 6. So this has come out to be 6. Now the question is how many number of metal bonds. Now how to calculate this? Now in order to calculate the number of metal atom per atom, number of metal bonds per atom, the number of metal bonds is again calculated with the help of TEC, but the formula becomes the number of metal bonds per metal atom is equal to 18 minus TEC upon n. The formula is 18 minus TEC upon n. Basically what is happening here, why we are taking 18 minus n, we are taking a fragment of this must be satisfying 18 electron rule, and in order to satisfy that 18 electron rule, that difference of this 18 minus TEC by n must be due to the metal bond formation. So now TEC is 60, it is equal to 18 minus 60 divided by 4, it comes out to be 18 minus 15, that is equal to 3. So the total so the number of metal bond per atom is 3. So this comes out to be 3. So the answer would be the total number of metal bond 6 and number of metal bond per atom 3. Now from these two situations, so this is the answer. Now let's move to next question, which is from December 2013. Next question is from December 2013. It says the complex is Re2 Cl4 PMe PH whole 4. This is the complex and we are required to find out the number of metal bonds. Now let us first calculate TEC. Again we need to calculate TEC. Now radium contributes, Re contributes 9 electron. It lies in the group of cobalt. Cobalt contributes 9 and therefore Re also contribute 9 electron. So 9, there are 2 Res, so 9 into 2. Now there are Cl. One Cl contributes 1 electron, then present as in terminal. But if it is present as a bridging, then it will contribute 3 electron. Now for the time being, we will solve taking this Cl4 to be the terminal. Now 4 terminal means 4 into 1 plus PMe PH whole 4. PMe PH whole 4, and this pH is binding, and this particular compound donates 2 electrons. It forms bond by forming it will contribute 1 electron. This will contribute 1 electron. There are 4 Therefore, plus 4 into 1 PME2. Alright, I hope I am clear still now. Now let's total this. Total will be 18 plus 4 that is equal to 18 for the 18 or 8, 26, 6. Alright, this comes out to be 26. Therefore, total number of metal bonds equal to 18 into n minus TEC. This is the formula. 18 into n minus TEC upon 2 is formula. Now we put n is equal to 2. We have 2 rhenium in this complex. Therefore, n will become 2. 18 into 2. TEC we have calculated to be 26. Divide by 2. This will come out to be. Wait a minute. There is some mistake. Some mistake. I think I have made some mistake. Let me check second. Let me check whether I kept the right values. Oh, everything is fine. Oh, all right. Yes, it is right. It will come out to be 10 upon 2. That is equal to 5. But this is coming out to be 5. This means this is not the right answer. Why? I've already told you that in rhenium, maximum bond possible are 4. Between 2 rhenium, maximum number of bonds possible are 4. 5 bonds are not possible. Only in chromium, in case of chromium, there are 6 bonds can have been found to be found between 2 chromium atoms, but in case of rhenium, there is only maximum number of metal bonds possible are 4. We are getting 5. That means some of the Cl must be acting as the bridging ligand. That means that Cls must be acting as a bridging ligand. Now, when Cls are acting as a bridging ligand, what will happen? What will happen now? Let us calculate now TC, assuming 2 of the Cl to be the bridging. Now, what will happen to the TC now? Now, the TC will become alright. Therefore, 1 PME3 contribute 1 electron. Therefore, that means it will contribute 1 into 4 plus. Now 2Cl among these are terminal, then for 2 terminal electrons, 2 terminal Cl, 1 electron will be contributed, 1 into 2. 2 are the bridging, those 2 will contribute 3 electron, that is 2 into 3. Therefore the answer becomes, now the total TEC will become 18 plus 4 plus 2 plus 6, 10, 12, 12, 18, 20, sorry, 30. TEC is equal to 30. This means total number of metal bonds will be equal to 18. 18 into 2, there are 2 radium, minus 30, TEC is 30 divided by 2, that is equal to be 6 by 2, that is equal to 3. So there will be 3 metal bond in this particular complex. This is the correct answer. So in this particular complex, the number of metal bonds are 3. This is the correct answer. Alright. Now let's move to question number 5. Let's move to question number 5, which is from June 2016. I hope this is clear. I am rubbing this now. Now the next question is from June 2016, which says there is a complex neta 5 C5H5 MO CO whole 3 whole 2 on heating forms complex neta 5 C5H5 MO CO2 whole 2. The question says that this particular complex on heating from this complex with the elimination of 2 equivalents of COs. With the elimination of 2 equivalents of COs, and it is asked calculate the number of calculate the total number of metal bonds which changes from 2. That is, we have to calculate the total number of metal bonds of this particular complex and this particular complex. So we have to tell that from, let's say this compound contain X and its number of metal bond changes to Y. We have to find this X and Y for this. Alright, let's start with the first complex. Let us calculate TEC for this complex. TEC for this complex is molybdenum. Molybdenum contributes 6 electrons. Molybdenum contributes 6 electrons. Neta 5 C5H5 will contribute 5 electron. Molybdenum 6 electron plus neta 5 C5H5. Neta 5 means neta 5 C5H5 is cyclopentadienyl. Neta 5 means that it is contributing 5 electrons toward the structure. So neta 5 C55 will contribute 5 electron as per neutral method, plus CO contributes 2. There are 3 COs, so 2 into 3, and this whole is multiplied by 2y because this is a dimer. So we multiply whole by 2. What we get? 11 plus 6, 17 into 2, that is equal to 34. So total number of metal bonds will be equal to 18 into N will be MO. This is the dimer 2 times. So N will become 2 minus TC is 34 divided by 2, that is equal to 36 minus 34 upon 2, that is equal to 1 bond. That is 1 bond. So in this particular complex, the number of metal-metal bond is 1. Now let us calculate the number of metal-metal bond in this particular complex. In this particular complex, TEC is equal to modulo 6, neta 5 C5H5, again 5. There are 2 COs, that means 1 contributes 2, then 2 will contribute 2 into 2, and whole will be multiplied by 2 as it is a dimer again. It is a dimer. So this is equal to 6, 5, 11. 11 plus 4, 15. 15 into 2 is 30. So TEC, therefore, total number of metal-metal bond will be equal to 18. Here also N is equal to 2. There are it is a dimer, 2 MOs. So therefore 18 into 2 minus TC in this case is 30 whole divided by 2, that is equal to 36 minus 30 upon 2, that is equal to 3 bonds. So bond order changes from 1 to 3. So the correct answer is that the bond order of the complex changes from 1 to 3. Bond order changes from 1 to 3. Now we move to the next question. Next question is from June 2017, which is the last question for this particular video. Let's see what does the last question says. Now, in question number 6, which is from June 2017, this question says adding 2 electrons to Bi5 3 plus results in a change of structure from dash to dash. The question was adding 2 electrons to bismuth 5 3 plus cluster results in a change of structure from dash to dash. We have to find out what is this structure of this compound and what will be the structure of that compound in which 2 electrons is added to this. Now let us calculate. Now first of all, before solving this question, I must tell you something about this type of complexes. This type of complexes like Bi5 3 plus, these are called Zintal ions. And these are the non-transition element crystals, and bismuth is non-transition. Clear? This type of ions are called Zintal ions, and in order to find the structure type of Zintal ions, we will use the same rule as we have used in the previous one, that is the Volders rule. How we are going to do? We are going to find the SEP for this, that is a skeleton electron pair for this. And for finding out the skeleton electron pair for this, what do we need to find out? We need to find out the total electron count for this particular complex. So now let's begin. TEC, that is the total electron count for it. It is bismuth. Bismuth belongs to which group? To which group does the bismuth belongs? Bismuth belongs to nitrogen family, right? Bismuth belongs to nitrogen family. And how much electron does the nitrogen, and what is the number of valence electron in nitrogen family? It is 5. So one Bi will contribute 5 electrons. So 5, and there are 5 bismuth multiplied by 5. Now it is plus 3 charge. Plus 3 charge means 3 electron has been lost. So from this electrons we will subtract 3 minus 3. What do we get? We get 22. The total electron count for this particular complex is 22 for this one. And what will be the total electron count for this particular complex? If 2 electron is added, what will happen? If we add 2 electron to this, what do we get? Bi5 plus, we will get Bi1 plus. So what will be the TEC for this complex? Now TEC of Bi5 plus 1 will be equal to 5 into 5. 5 bismuth, each bismuth contributes 5, so 5 will contribute 5 into 5, and there is plus 1 charge, means we will subtract 1, we will get 24. Now let us calculate first the SEP for this. What is the formula for SEP? Now I have told you 2 formulas for calculating SEP. Let me rub this part. For calculating skeleton electron pair, we have 2 formulas. SEP is equal to TEC minus 12 into N divided by 2, and second formula is SEP is equal to TEC minus 2 into N divided by 2. Now, which formula will we be going to apply in this? In this case, we will apply this formula. This formula is for non-transition metal complexes. This formula is for non-transition metal complexes, and this formula we will use for transition metal complexes. Now in this particular case, bismuth is a non-transition element. It belongs to p block. It does not belong to transition element family. Therefore, we are going to use the second formula, which is SEP is equal to TEC minus 12 into N, 2 into N divided by 2. What will it becomes? Is equal to 22 minus, first of all we are calculating for Bi5, Bi3 plus. For Bi3 plus, SEP will be equal to TEC minus 2 into N by 2, that is 2 into 5, there are 5 bismuth, divided by 2, that is equal to 12 upon 2, that will come out to be 6. This will come out to be 6. So skeleton electron pair for bismuth 5, 3 plus is 6. Now for Bi5, 1 plus, for Bi5 1 plus, SEP will be equal to TEC is for this particular complex is 24. So 24 minus 2 into 5 divided by 2, that is equal to 14 upon 2, that is equal to 7. Right? Clear? This much is clear. And now, as per Wadde's rule, what do we have? According to Wadde's principle, if SEP is equal to n plus 1, plies clozo, SEP is equal to n plus 2, nido, SEP is equal to n plus 3, arachno, SEP equal to n plus 4, it is hypho. Now for BI5 3 plus, it is coming out to be 6, and we have how many center? N. What is the value of n here? 5. N is the number of vertices. Here we have 5 bismuth, and all the 5 bismuth are working as vertices. So we will what we can write it as 6 as 5 plus, we can write 6 as 5 plus 1, that is, this is n plus 1, and n plus 1 means clozo. Therefore bismuth 3 plus is clozo. So Bi3 plus is clozo. Now for Bi5 1 plus, what is the skeletal property? 7. 7 can be written as equal to 5 plus 2, that is n plus 2, and n plus 2 means nido structure. So this will have nido structure. So the structure, therefore adding 2 electrons to bismuth cluster result in a structure change from clozo to nido. Thank you very much. This is all for today's video. If you like my videos, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you.